Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and this video is brought to you by the online BBallBreakdown membership. Click the first link in the description below to learn more and join.
Good.
I don't think anyone was prepared for the Game 7 we got from the Raptors and Sixers on Mother's Day. Maybe the players weren't either, since the game itself was a bit ragged, neither team shot very well, and there was some pretty questionable coaching going on too. But it got dramatic down the stretch, they started making some plays, and Kawhi Leonard treated us to the absolute most unbelievable series-ending Game 7 buzzer beater of all time. While Joel Embiid's numbers weren't great by any stretch, his presence on the court was instrumental, considering in the 3 minutes he rested, the Sixers were outscored by a whopping 12 points. As Embiid's replacement, Greg Monroe struggled mightily. The dude was a -9 in less than 2 minutes of playing time. When he gets the ball at the free throw line, he doesn't even look at the rim, then hands off to the wrong team, allowing Kawhi a free pass right to the front of the rim. The Sixers' offense is filled with high post passes that flow into handoffs to the corner, and this one gets an opening for Monroe to get a layup. When Ibaka gets back to pressure, this requires Monroe to shoot a right-handed shot. It gets blocked, and the Raptors get another stop. That was all Brett Brown could stand, and Embiid was back in a mere 90 seconds after he went out. At the end of the second quarter, Brown figured he could get away with 35 seconds of no Embiid. The Raptors went to work setting a half-court ball screen. At this position, Butler needs to just go underneath, but Lowry catches him out of position long enough to explode right at Monroe, who can't do anything except foul him and give up the and one. Embiid literally subs back in 5 seconds after he left. In the middle of the third, with Mike Scott their center, I guess, the Raptors set an inside ball screen to force the switch and get Butler stuck on Ibaka, who attacks on the catch, spinning for the nice layup off the glass. The Sixers try to spread the floor and get Ennis turning the corner on a handoff. Lowry gets around it no problem, but as Ennis attacks middle, you'll see his knee collide with Lowry's knee, causing him to fall. The refs completely miss this call, and the Raptors get another stop. This is a very common action we see most teams run, the high post split, where the ball is entered to the elbow and the passer sets a split screen for the corner. This is usually a switch, yet why is Butler standing on the block? It's the only way to allow a layup as Kawhi cuts over the top of Butler. Nice spin to get to the front of the rim and an easy layup. Can you hear me shaking my head? That was all Brett Brown could stand and got Embiid right back in the game after only 70 seconds of rest. Let's move on to crunch time. Toronto runs their vaunted Kawhi-Kyle pick and roll. Redick allows himself to be completely out of position to help. Simmons mistakenly rotates one pass away off the corner to help, and Embiid was right there from the weak side. And it gets Ibaka a wide open corner three, but the Sixers dodge the bullet. Now, I want to show you a very common action the Sixers have in their playbook. Here it is from the first quarter. As the ball is passed to the top, it immediately goes to Embiid in the elbow, where he hands off to Redick looking for his shot. And if he doesn't get it, he can hit Embiid rolling. They catch Green rotating, and it's an easy layup. Well, in the fourth quarter, they call this same play, get it to Harris out top, but explain to me why he isn't passing this right away. He's screwing around with the dribble to the right. Clearly, Butler and Simmons are not part of this play. Before finally getting it to Embiid, instead of rolling, Embiid flares out to the three-point line. By the way, he took 6 threes yesterday, making one of them. I mean, what is going on here that Embiid would be jacking up that many in a Game 7? But back to the play. Fantastic rotation by Ibaka off of Simmons to pick him up. Great by Gasol to bump down and offer another layer of rim protection. Great rotation by Siakam to get to Butler in the corner. There's no time left on the clock, and they don't even get a shot off. With the game tied, the Raptors try to force Redick onto Kawhi. It's well defended. Great help by Embiid to drive Kawhi out of the post, and terrible decision to force this shot up with 10 seconds still on the clock. The Sixers' offense kept getting worse, like a bad nightmare you can never wake up from. A simple high pick and roll is contained well by Gasol, and Embiid should be rolling hard to the rim. Instead, it allows Kawhi to shadow the ball and bump Gasol back to his man, and then Lowry jumps to Butler on the switch. This was a nice inside ball screen to get the mismatch for Butler, but rather than take proper advantage of it, Butler thinks about the three, then passes it to Redick with Kawhi on him. I had to laugh at the speed Redick gets the ball out of his hands and back to Butler, and with no time on the clock, they get a terrible step-back air ball. Now can you hear me shaking my head? The Raptors run a two-man game, and as soon as Embiid drops down into the block on this handoff, the defense was in trouble. Kawhi uses the ball screen, finds 5 feet of space, and rises up for a long two-pointer and the lead back to Toronto. Here's where I don't understand what Brett Brown was doing. They're down 2, not up, so they need to attack and not waste time. Yet after the timeout, they do not advance the ball to midcourt. The offense doesn't begin until there are 15 seconds left on the shot clock. They're hoping Harris can fake the zipper cut to the top and get a backdoor cut, something reminiscent of what Manu used to do all the time when Brown was the assistant with the Spurs. But with Simmons walking around out top, there's no way to sell that backdoor cut. So they flow into a double staggered screen for Redick. Well defended by Lowry, and why isn't Embiid rolling into the lane for a low post touch? Fantastic denial by Siakam to stop the handoff to Harris, an even better decision by Gasol to jump the ball as the clock winds down, and perfect read by Lowry to leave Butler, jump the passing lane, and get a steal. The pass to Siakam gets them a layup and a 4-point lead. Here's the craziest part of this whole sequence. Watch Embiid grab the ball quickly and then hand it to the ref. While we can't see what happens, several seconds go by before the whistle is heard for the timeout, meaning Embiid might have inbounded the ball before the timeout was called. This is the only explanation for why the Sixers choose to inbound the ball again at the baseline. They're down 4 points with only a minute left. You don't have time to be walking it up the court like this. They don't start their attack until there are 15 seconds left on the shot clock, which was to get Lowry guarding Butler out top. And Lowry bails them out by taking a dumb foul and giving them 2 easy points. However, those points weren't as easy as I thought. Since Butler misses the second free throw, Kyle Lowry must be some sort of evil genius sorcerer. Up by 3, the Raptors want to wind the clock down, but be mindful of getting a 2-for-1 opportunity. I like this play to hit Siakam on top, then flow right into a handoff, getting Kawhi attacking off the catch fast. He misses the pocket pass to Siakam, but watch Ben Simmons here. He's guarding Ibaka, who had wandered over to the right side. He then freezes, hypnotized by the ball, while his man slides over, gets inside position on Embiid, and comes up with the game-saving offensive rebound. Embiid got blamed for this, but it wasn't his fault. The Raptors still need to shoot the ball, the Sixers don't need to foul, and I'm pretty sure Nick Nurse wanted a timeout call here. What do you think? The Raptors run the same play again, and this time Ben Simmons gets in position to help contain, and Embiid thwarts the attack, leaving Kawhi to burp up a turnaround fadeaway 3-point shot that has no chance. After Embiid gets fouled near the hoop, he makes both free throws to cut it to 1, and they're forced to foul Kawhi Leonard to stop the clock. He makes the first to go up by 2, and then more crazy pills. Why is Kyle Lowry wandering down below the free throw line here? They're up by 2. All 5 Philadelphia players are in the lane, yet instead of having 3 defenders back, they've got 2, and Butler gets right to the hoop for the game-tying layup. And that brings us to the final play. Are you sitting down, sports fans? Siakam sets 2 screens, one for Lowry cutting the corner, which sucks Embiid way out of the play, then immediately for Kawhi to receive the ball. Kawhi establishes his right foot as the pivot foot, then proceeds to pick it up and put it back down before the ball hits the floor. This goes uncalled on so many possessions throughout the game that it's hard to expect it here, and off Kawhi goes. Embiid picks him up so Simmons switches off, and just before the clock expires, Kawhi rises up, gets it off over Embiid's hand, and if this was a script for Hollywood, no one would believe it as the ball hits the rim 3 times before somehow dropping through, erasing years of pain for the Raptors fans and leaving these young Sixers in a state of profound heartbreak. I've never seen a bounce like that for a game winner, much less Game 7 in the playoffs, and neither has the NBA. And now we've got Kawhi versus Giannis in the conference finals. If we're lucky, that one will also go to 7. Sports fans, Coach Nick again, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then I've got a new online basketball membership where I share with you the best of what NBA teams are doing to help you be more successful on the court. Click the first link in the description or the pinned comment below to learn more.